Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Legacy Let's Play world. Another week, another leak. There's some new information that folks are talking about, but before we get to that, I want to talk a little bit about some of the technical changes to the snapshot that came out last week and some of the leaks I talked about in the last episode. So one thing we talked about was a UI update. Some folks had found some screenshots and some code in the game that indicated that potentially we were going to get some sort of user interface update. These screenshots showed new UI for the chest and the ender chest and the barrel and different containers. Well, just this week, Mojang posted that these were actually a prototype. So they are doing some work and some testing. They were very clear that none of this was final and that it's not something that is imminently coming out, but it is something that they're looking at. And I have to imagine that there's tons of stuff like this where they're constantly rethinking and reevaluating the game and how we interact with it. The menu system in Bedrock got a pretty substantial update last year. And you'll also remember that they did a little update to the air bubbles when you're underwater. They added new animation and some new sounds. They are probably looking at all kinds of different parts of the game and looking for different ways to enhance it. And speaking of game enhancements, the snapshot that came out last week, there were some technical changes that were sort of interesting in there. The big news with the snapshot was that they added pig variants, there were the new wildflowers, falling leaves, a lot of atmospheric things. Some of the technical changes will make it easier for the folks who make data packs and resource packs. And one small change they made was they added a category of mobs called barnyard animals. And all that they indicated was that barnyard animals will now spawn in the Badland biomes. And when I think of barnyard animals, I think of cows, pigs, chickens, maybe sheep. And so folks have been asking, why would they bother to add this bit of code that designated a new category of mob? And some folks are also speculating that maybe, since we got pig variants, we might get cow variants and chicken variants. We already have different sheep as far as different colors, and it might be interesting too if different colored sheep were available in different biomes, but we'll see what actually shapes up with all of that. The big leak that came out this week came from Reddit, and before I get into it, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my opinion of leaks. Because some people are absolutely anti-leaker, and some folks love them. My opinion is probably a little more nuanced. So leaks, whether they come from video games or TV shows or movies or technology companies, I generally view them unfavorably. A leak indicates that somebody got information that they weren't supposed to and gave it to the public. And their motivation is usually just some temporary notoriety and a boost to their ego. And at best, they ruin a surprise. And at worst, they can damage a brand. If there's some big update that's coming and people spoil the surprise, then, that's not very cool. The leak is often up to the interpretation of the leaker or the public, and sometimes we just don't know the whole story, or we imagine things that aren't there, and that can be problematic. And sometimes leaks don't come true. Sometimes leaks are just a part that somebody found in a factory, and so they assume that there's a new device coming out, or it's a bit of test footage, and it must be something in the new update, and if it doesn't happen, then people get disappointed. And so, like I said, I have a generally unfavorable view of leaks. Now, if there's a positive side, it is that people get talking. People in the community kind of come together and they get excited about a thing and potentially show more interest than they might have had they not heard about the leak. So I very much do see how they have a positive and a negative side. Now, the leak that came out this week was a word, and that word was Spicewood. This is a word that Roger Badgerman had said before, and he was a notoriously accurate leaker who got in some trouble, may have been part of the company and was leaking information. But this word has popped up again, and then to lend it some credence, somebody posted an image. And the image is clearly confidential, and it shows the roadmap for Minecraft for the next 3 years. So 2025, 2026, 2027. And most of it is not very surprising. So specifically, it shows quarterly game updates, and it refers to them as game beats. I don't know if that's because they might still do drops and updates, or if it's just some sort of generic language that they use in this particular department. It also shows the Minecraft movie release date and potentially the streaming release date. There's just a couple other things like Minecraft Live, some potential brand affiliations, and some potential in-person events. But the one thing that sticks out is this new game called Spicewood. The image is very peculiar looking. It's Spicewood in the Minecraft logo, and then some very unusual script above it. The script is unusual enough that some people are saying that this is potentially AI, but it could also be the, villagers' language or something like that. I don't know. I never really got into Minecraft Dungeons or Minecraft Legends. I primarily play Java Edition Minecraft, and I did play Minecraft Earth a little bit when that was a thing. Last year, there was some new postings for jobs and developers with Mojang, and so it very well could be a new game that they are releasing in the Minecraft universe. Mojang is also notorious for using codenames, so Spicewood might not actually be the name of the game, but could just be some sort of project placeholder. And that's really it. The following year, there is some sort of indication of potential DLC for this Spicewood game. So once we start to get further into the year, we'll see if things actually line up with this graphic that they had leaked. And that might lend some credence to it. But beyond that, we really don't know much of anything. And in my opinion, that's the best kind of leak. Last episode, I'd mentioned that I was using some new software called Meld Studio to make my videos. And I also used it for the first time to do some live streaming, and it went great. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out if you do any streaming or any video making. It's a really cool piece of software. It is Mac specific and in beta for Windows right now, but so far I'm really pleased with it. Just last night, I booked myself a trip to New York City. I'm going to go to New York in April and hang out and do some fun things. And then in February, I'm going to just go to Vegas for a couple of days. So got some travel coming up. I'm very excited about that. I'm going to do some documenting of the travel so I can share it all with you. The thing I find most interesting about travel is it really inspires what I want to build. I see cool things and it really gives me great ideas for things to do in Minecraft. And I thought it'd be fun to share it all with you as far as what I saw and what inspired me and that sort of thing. So keep an ear out for that. I'll post and announce when those sorts of videos are coming out. And then finally, over on my weekly Empire Let's Play series, we just finished the suspension bridge, and we will likely move towards some new villages and build roads and connect them all up. So if you haven't checked that out, check it out, because it's a lot of fun and it's a really cool series. And I think that's where I'm going to wrap this one up. If you want to be like these folks and help support the channel, click join down below. Membership starts at 99 cents and it really helps me out. And thanks for watching. I hope you had fun. Please like and subscribe if you want to follow along on the adventure, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.